The topic of discussion, our Brandon Lewis spent the day in this tiny upstate village to find out how the local business owners are preparing for the presidential visit. And Brandon's live with us in the studio. He's got more on tonight's top story. They seem pretty into it, Brandon.
Dory, they are. There's a buzz in the air in Cooperstown as it prepares for President Obama. Businesses that we spoke with hope it kickstarts a successful summer tourism season, one that's much needed in the village.
At the Cooperstown General Store,
we have everything from nuts and bolts to toys to stationery to yarn.
Manager Ron Jacks is doing his part.
I think it's terribly exciting
to get ready for President Obama's visit.
We're covering the windows because the whole back of the block here is going to be sealed off, and they don't want anyone looking out or being able to look in. It's probably a safety precaution.
It's not only the general store that's getting ready for President Obama's visit. Many other businesses throughout the downtown area are also getting in the spirit in hopes that it can spur tourism throughout the leather-stocking region.
Tourism is an export. We do see a growing number of foreign travelers, particularly for the Hall of Fame, because the Hall of Fame reaches globally.
That's exactly the international message President Obama plans to tout in Cooperstown. A push to rebound tourist towns still feeling the pain from the recession.
So much of the tourism industry is made up of small business. We've been rebounding. Things in the last couple of years have been going better, but it's still very slow. You don't see this huge spike. You see just slow increments.
The Cooperstown General Store sees itself as an example of the resilient Main Street businesses and even hopes to show off to the president.
I'd like him to come through the store, but I don't think I'll get him out of the building next door.
Hey, why do you want him to come here? What would you like him to see?
Just to look around and see how we live up here. You know, this is probably a lot different than what he's used to in Washington.
And while the president is pushing tourism, the visit will close the Hall of Fame to visitors for the entire day due to security. People we spoke with say it's a small price to pay for what they hope is a large bump in tourism. Live in studio, Brandon Lewis, CBS 6 News.
Thank you, Brandon. President Obama, no stranger to our area. You know that. Tomorrow will be the fourth time he has come to the area since taking office in 2009. In September 2009, he toured Hudson Valley Community College with Jill Biden. He used the school as a backdrop to call for more appreciation of community colleges. The president came back in January of 2011. He spent time at the GE plant in Schenectady. President Obama was only in the area for about 2 hours that time before boarding Air Force One to go back to the White House. And most recently, he toured the Nano College in Albany. That was back in May of 2012. He was there with Governor Cuomo talking about the technology industry and its impact on upstate New York. Now, we've been able to cover him during our visits here. I covered him at HVCC and at GE, and both times he really talked about a new age of manufacturing and the idea of innovation and invention and reinvention to compete in the new global marketplace, as he called it. Similar themes both times.
Absolutely. And I was at the Nano College when he spoke there, and it was interesting to see how he tied in what was happening here locally in the capital region with the job creation and economic growth to what he wanted to see happen nationwide. So I'm curious to see tomorrow with the tourism factor. It's going to be different, certainly. For sure.
He's meeting with tourism industry CEOs and leaders at the White House in the morning and then talking tourism here. So it's a whole day of tourism. So, you know, we're right before the Memorial Day weekend, so it's the tourist season. So I'll be heading to Cooperstown tomorrow to cover the president's visit. We'll have complete coverage throughout the day, both on air and online. I'll start out with a live report tomorrow on CBS 6 at noon, so we hope to see you there.